In this video, we're continuing with section 5.6 special parallelograms. In the previous video, we looked at all the different properties, and in this one, we're going to apply those. So based on the tick marks that are given in the picture, we want to try and figure out what's the best name for each quadrilateral. So we'll go ahead and take a look at 4 of these examples, and you can go ahead and finish the rest of them. So let's take a look at part A. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get in the habit of writing down what the tick marks are telling you in the picture. So for part A, we can see that I have this pair of opposite angles are congruent and this pair of opposite angles are congruent. So let's write that down. Opposite angles are congruent. So if we're thinking about our properties for parallelograms, the best name for this, the only parallelogram that this could absolutely positively be, would be a parallelogram. It might be one of the other ones. Well, it's not going to be a square, because if it was a square, all of these angles would be congruent to each other. It's not going to be a rhombus, because we don't know that all the sides are congruent. It's not going to be a square for some of the same reasons. So you have to reason through with all your properties and figure out which one it is. Alright, so let's take a look at E, and if we look at the tick marks here, it says that the diagonals bisect each other. Alright, so since the diagonals have different tick marks on their halves, we know that the diagonals are not congruent. So since the diagonals are not congruent, we know it's not going to be a rectangle, and we know it's not going to be a square. And since the different pieces of them are not congruent, we know it's not going to be a rectangle again. So it could either be a parallelogram or a rhombus, and the reason it's not a rhombus is because we don't know that all the sides are congruent. So the only parallelogram that this could be would just be a regular parallelogram. Okay, it's not going to be one of those other special ones. Remember, that's our symbol for parallelogram. Alright, let's look at H. So in this one, we can see that only one diagonal has been bisected. Only one diagonal bisected. Okay, so if only one diagonal is bisected, it's not even going to be, or it may not be, a parallelogram. It could be, but we're not sure. The only thing that it absolutely could be, the only quadrilateral that one diagonal is bisected, if you recall, is a kite. Alright, so we're going to have to look at all of our special quadrilaterals to try and figure these out. Alright, let's do one more. Let's go down to I. So we notice by the tick marks that only one pair of sides parallel. So we know it's not going to be a parallelogram or any of the special parallelograms, because that would have both pair of opposite sides parallel, and our quadrilateral that has one pair, exactly one pair of parallel sides, would be a trapezoid. Alright, so again, get in the habit of writing down everything they give you in the tick marks, and then reason out from that which special quadrilateral you have. It's going to be hard. You're going to need some time learning all the different properties, but really make an effort to make sure you know what the properties of each one of those are, and it will help you solve these problems. All right, make sure you get any questions that you have answered, and we'll see you in the next video.